Hello and welcome to another StarCraft 2 replay brought to you by XXStarCraft2. I'm your caster V. Today we have a TBT on the map Slag Pits. In the north we have the red Terran innominate, and in the south we have the blue Terran AzurePheonix. Because that works out pretty well because he is the blue Terran, and their little picture is some sort of bird thing. Anyway, this was a game played on the silver ranked ladders, so it's kind of funny. So we start off with the red Terran here going for the wall in, and of course putting his barracks in such a position where he cannot put an add-on onto it without moving it. And down here, our blue Terran has decided he just wants to 2 racks rush with an early gas, and just getting the barracks out of there. And he says, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going to have any sort of wall in. Our red Terran is getting his 2nd racks and also his gas, and yay, command centers, because, you know, mules are OP. He's got 2 gas, even though he doesn't have anything that actually uses gas. But hey, he's getting a reactor that needed 50 gas, so I guess that goes far. Meanwhile, down in the south, we have this little, AzurePheonix says, I have three Marines, it's time for a push, just as the red Terran puts down his first expo. And AzurePheonix, oh, there he goes. He won't decide. Innominate decided he did in fact want an add-on to that barracks, picked it up and started making it. And his 2 Marines go down fairly quickly, even though there's this 1 Marine right here that's just chilling out. And despite that, he pulls his. So the 1 Marine was chasing this blue Marine here, and then it goes into the smoke, and hey, he must have just completely disappeared. There's no way he can still be there in the smoke. So, Innominate now having his 6 guys, and this one guy, this one AzurePheonix Marine with 3 health comes in here and picks off an SCV. Alright, and so, AzurePheonix deciding that, oh no, he's got an expo, I need to expo too. You know what, expoing in my natural, too mainstream. I want to go and be a hipster Terran and expo over here on the west part of the map. And he also sends, what was it, it was like a marauder or something over here, and just gets eaten. And Innominate just queuing up so many SCVs. He's got his factory starting to make some tanks, and he's got, oh, here's one starport. Oh, and here's another starport. Neither of them with add-ons. And he's getting, oh, now he's getting an engineering bay, which is good for something. I'm not sure he actually uses it ever. And here's your Phoenix is doing very much the same thing as his opponent, and he's getting some tanks, but he's not making rally points for his production facilities. Like this barracks doesn't have one, this factory doesn't have one. Oh, and Innominate doing some scouting, taking the Zelnago watchtower. And oh, you know what, because Terrans do this thing called drops, and so Innominate is like, oh, I'm gonna do a drop. Yeah, that's sneaky. Still doesn't, he's churning out several medevacs from his starports, but does not have reactors on them. And his medevacs get into position, they chill for a second, and then they're coming. AzurePheonix completely, you know, does not see it coming. Oh, and the drop happens, and they just chill. Just chill right there. Tank. Just gonna shoot and stuff. And AzurePheonix, he just, you know, he's gonna siege up too. Because, you know, protecting his command center doesn't, lifts it up. It's just sort of at a stalemate, and they just chill here for a little while. Meanwhile, there's a drop in Innominate's Naturals mineral line, and nobody survives except that medevac. And then you know what? He attacks, because the counter to a drop in your base is attacking with the drop in someone else's base. And the CVs go back to mining, briefly decide they were going to go over here. And AzurePheonix decides, what is the counter to Marines and tanks? Clearly, it requires starports. Meanwhile, in innominate's base, he's got this Rax over here that's not doing anything and isn't rallied. And he is just continuing on with the Reen, medevac, tank, even getting up some missile turrets because, you know, those drops, they're nasty. Not putting any behind his mineral line, because that's normally where they come from, but whatever. Like right here, here's 2 tanks. Right in his mineral line doing the exact same thing he did. Oh, and you know what the counter to tanks is? More tanks, but on lower ground. Especially when he has Banshees! Okay, Banshees, go. Now! Oh, come on, Banshees. There they go! There's the Banshees. They know what they're good for. And medevac runs away. So we have this Reen, medevac, siege tank, Banshee force, and it's pretty much the same over here. AzurePheonix getting cloak at least, getting Banshees, tanks, and yeah, Banshees and tanks. Oh, and a Raven. Because Ravens are good. They can, like, detect things and have those magic spells and shit. And innominate saying drops. More drops. 1 million drops. All over the place. Just as AzurePheonix's Banshees come in to pick off the mineral line that was already pretty much wiped out. And innominate says, what's the counter to Banshees in my base? Attacking the opponent's base. Or just moving out. And the Banshees retreat. Even did some damage to this barracks that's just chilling here now. And in comes the front drop! Just obliterating whatever you can. And these Marines that are apparently not on a move, they're just on move. And of course, because everyone knows the counter to being attacked in your base is to attack their base. And innominate getting some Vikings to take out this Phoenix right now. Now. Oh, there's 2 of them now, so yeah. Now there's... after you take... Vikings, only potent against Banshees once your command center has been destroyed. Speaking of destroyed command centers, there's a lot of base trading going on right now. And nothing has been made from, no upgrades from this engineering bay. The only thing that have come of it are a couple of missile turrets that aren't really placed in good locations. Especially not behind his mineral line where the Banshees would come from. No, F that. Despite all this, innominate still ahead in food by 40 food. Moving out now with his Banshees, 1 Raven, Reen, tank, medevac, mix. This flying Terran death ball is going to stop briefly at the Silnaga Watchtower. Just as, look, more Banshees. Man, missile turrets would have been really good right here where those Banshees keep coming from, huh? Oh well. But innominate, he wants to be pro someday, so Banshees are in your base. You attack the other guy's base. That's how pros do it. And load up, go somewhere else. And this Phoenix, who actually did expand briefly to his actual natural, decides that he's gonna come back to his second expand here, where he has all of these starports. They're getting destroyed, and this orbital command that's chilling. His Banshees continue to just kill whatever's available. This one Banshee just chilling. And AzurePheonix has picked up his base and is floating it away, which is exactly the same thing that innominate did. When you're attacked by Banshees, pick up and leave. And now begins the wild goose chase. Who will find the other's base first and destroy it? Because innominate has all of this tech lab and this floating base, and AzurePheonix has this floating base, which he landed for some reason, and this bunker, which was his response to a medevac drop, was to build a bunker, and this one missile turret all the way over here. So Phoenix, what are the units? Because certainly nothing's being produced right now. Phoenix has 7 Cloaky Banshees, 1 Ghost somewhere, and innominate has fairly similar, I suppose. He's got a bunch of medevacs. He has like 3 Reams on the ground and a couple SCVs, and that's it. He's got a Banshee, and here comes AzurePheonix's Banshees to eliminate the rest of those. So innominate has he's got like a Marine here and a Marine there, and the Banshees of AzurePheonix do in fact find innominate's floating base, but innominate's the one who's actually got something that can do about it. And he shoots down AzurePheonix's base with these Vikings, and those Vikings get scared off by the one remaining building that AzurePheonix has and fly off. And then finally AzurePheonix, who only has the 1 Ghost and the 7 Banshees, who can't shoot at anything but the random 3 Marines on the field, just finally says fuck it and gives up.